Put away your keys.
Hey everybody, Chad McNabb driving in East Tennessee again. I'm driving on Westland Road in West Knoxville. Just left Morrell Road. Morrell Road will turn left back there at the red light. Will take you back to West Town Mall. Turn right, it will take you back into the Rocky Hill neighborhood on North Shore Drive. North Shore Drive is a drive parallels the Tennessee River and Fort Loudon Lake for many miles, probably about 15 miles. Kingston Pike all the way back to the city of Farragut in western Knox County. It's got a lot of nice subdivisions and houses on it next to the river and lake. Of course, Westland Drive is just a couple of miles from North Shore, and it goes about the same distance, and it has a lot of nice subdivisions on it. Back towards Farragut, you have the Gettysview subdivision and golf course. Of course, some of these houses are a little older because we're getting closer to downtown. The closer you get to downtown, usually you're going to get into older houses. The further west you go, you're going to get more into your newer houses. But there are some newer houses out here in this part of Westland Drive, and a lot of older houses that have been really kept up. There's a newer subdivision up there. Westland Drive will run back into North Shore Drive up here in a little bit. And then we'll run in at Lakeshore Park. Lakeshore Park is just right up here on the right, and it's a park right here next to the Tennessee River. It's got walking trails, ball fields. Used to have a mental hospital on it, but the mental hospital's been closed. Here's North Shore Drive. Lakeshore Park is on the right, and Veterans Cemetery here's here on the left. Conservatory too on Lakeshore Park. Of course, usually the West Knoxville is their higher income area, nicer housing. Here on the right, you can see is the Tennessee River below. House that just sold over here, right here on this neighborhood for about $15 million. And I think actually it's going to be torn down and rebuilt. Another house rebuilt on the land that was there. So I don't know. Seeing over here on my left is Cherokee. Well, the Cherokee Country Club's on the right, but the golf course is over here on the left. Then Kingston Pike is over here on our left too, which is the main shopping commercial street that runs through West Knoxville, many miles. From all the way downtown Knoxville all the way back to the Farragut. And then it becomes Highway 11 or Lee Highway. You can go take all the way down to Chattanooga through Lenore City, Loudon, Sweetwater, Athens, Cleveland. Now we're coming into the historic area too, off of Kingston Pike. We're only about 3 or 4 miles right here from downtown Knoxville. Western Plaza Shopping Center there.
You're going to win handily. Getting guys out in a timely fashion. And if anything, Josh Heupel leaves his players in there a little long, in my opinion. A little bit.
Like I said, this neighborhood coming up is called Sequoyah Hills, and it was one of the first subdivisions built in Knoxville, maybe the first subdivision. Sits right on the side of it. It's going to, of course, sit right on the Tennessee River. Got a lot of nice historic churches on this road too. A couple of synagogues. St. George Greek Orthodox Church, and they usually have a festival every year, a Greek Fest. A lot of different Greek culture, Greek food, Greek music. Also, the University of Tennessee is just a couple of miles from here too. There's a synagogue over here. It's got a synagogue. Church of Christ Science. Now, turn here onto Cherokee, go into Sequoia Hills. Said a lot of these houses are older historic houses, but some are newer. Of course, it's also famous for the median that runs through here. This area is very popular too on the Dogwood Arts Festival. Dogwood Arts Festival was a festival started in Knoxville back in the Fountain City neighborhood back in the 1950s because a reporter from New York came to Knoxville back in the 1950s and said Knoxville was the ugliest city in America in his article. So these little ladies that lived in the Fountain City neighborhood didn't like that, of course. They started the Dogwood Arts Festival to showcase Knoxville's beauty. That's they have it in spring when the flowers, the dogwood trees are starting to bloom. They have a path marked for it that you can drive and follow the trail. And then they have all kinds of activities around it: arts, crafts, music, food. Of course, this neighborhood is going to be very expensive to live in. Now we're getting close to the Tennessee River. I believe there is a library here too. I believe the library was back on that road, right back there, that road on the right. Sequoia Park, and there's the Tennessee River. On the other side of the river is South Knoxville. This is the very beginning of West Knoxville. Some ball fields down here next to the river. Park, nice fountain. And over there is the Tennessee UT Hospital across the river. Nice walking and running path through the middle of the median here. here. Even if you have an older house, it's still going to be pretty expensive just for the location. I'm sure even the older houses, most people maintain have been maintained. I'm coming back onto Kingston Pike. Of course, I'm going to the UT football game today. Today's their third game of the year. They're playing Akron. Akron, I don't think is that too good of a football. It's too good of a team. So, more churches over here on the right. It's Calvary Baptist. Yep, and it's a sellout too. Even that just shows you that even Tennessee fans were really starting to get excited because Tennessee hadn't been that good in the past 10, 15 years. And won their first two games this year already, and they beat a good Pitt team last week. So even a game against Akron sold out. And Tennessee Stadium holds 101,000 people. Now we're almost into the campus of the University of Tennessee. And Kingston Pike, once it enters to the campus, it becomes Cumberland Avenue. Right here is Neyland Drive, and Neyland Drive is named after General Robert Neyland, who was Tennessee's football coach from 1926 through the early 50s, except he missed a few years because he was a general in the Army. So he had to serve a couple of tours, especially during World War II. And when he was the coach, Tennessee had some of the best. That's when Tennessee football got really good, when he was the coach. They went 3 years in a row without losing in the regular season back in the 1930s. Back then, bowl games didn't count for the polls. The final poll came out after the last regular season game of the year. Over here on my left, I believe those are the sorority houses for the university. Of course. From 1926 until 2008, when Philip Former, who was the coach at UT, they won the national championship in 1998. In those years, Tennessee had the most wins in college football. So started General Neyland's first year till Philip Former's last year, Tennessee had the most wins in college football. And since then, though, after they fired Coach Former, they have not been very good. They probably just maybe slightly above 500. But they're still second all time in the SEC in wins behind Alabama. Now, here's the veterinarian center on my left for the University of Tennessee. And University Gardens. Just got the Tennessee River over here on the right. Like I said, across the river over there, that's South Knoxville. Got Fort Dickerson over there on South Knoxville. It's a park. It has a quarry in it because they had a lot of marble quarries in that part of South Knoxville that were used in many big significant buildings in Washington, D.C. and New York. But now there's the quarry over there in Fort Dickerson is filled up with water. It's no longer used to get the marble out of, and you can swim in it. Stadium, of course, Neyland Drive, and this is Neyland Stadium, of course, named after General Neyland. Here's Thompson Bowling Arena. That's the basketball arena. It holds over 22,000. Used to hold 25,000, but they took out some of the seats to put in luxury boxes. Coming up here in a minute, you'll see the football stadium, Neyland Stadium, and that holds 101,000. And you're going to see a lot of orange and white here just in a second. Parking garage right there. Of course, one thing that makes it unique is it's right on the Tennessee River, and Tennessee has the Vol Navy, and several fans take their boats up the Tennessee River to come to the games and dock right here on the Tennessee River. Coming up, there's the Henley Bridge. Take you to South Knoxville, Sevierville, the Smoky Mountains, Old Chapman Highway. And right up here is Calhoun's. There's a Three Rivers Gambler train that you can take as a tours to take you on trips on. And then right up here is downtown Knoxville. And on my right is Calhoun's Barbecue Restaurant, which is a very popular local barbecue restaurant. But that's going to be my end of the tour of Westland and Sequoyah Hills and Neyland Drive. We'll see more in Knoxville, East Tennessee, Middle Tennessee. Just leave a comment below, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day.